All right, so I am Brian Sheerin, and for our end of semester video project, we are asked to answer the question of which school of psychological theory is the most compelling or intriguing approach for studying marketing phenomenons in your opinion. I went ahead and answered this question with social psychology. The social psychology school theory, psychological theory, in my opinion, is the most intriguing approach for this current era that we're living in and this current situation that we're living through. So I know everyone that is watching this video has taken our class for the most part, but social psychology was a topic that we covered pretty early on in the semester. So a short refresher, just the definition. When we're looking at social psychology, we're looking at marketing with the assumption that human behavior is driven by prestige seeking and the desire to fit in with society. Uh, I think this idea and this theory has really taken off in this current era because of influencer marketing. This is where we really see social psychological marketing at the forefront. Influencer marketing is when your brand hires out influencers, anywhere from 1 to 20, and then they promote your brand to their network. And just through this short, easy to see graphic, you can see how your brand goes from one identity to so many more, just because of the outreach and the network that your influencers that you pay have the ability to reach. This industry of influencer marketing has really taken off in the past couple years. Back in 2016, it was the market size for this form of marketing was at around $1.7 billion. This is a substantial amount of money to be put into a form of marketing, but since technology has innovated so much within the past couple of years, the growth in this form of marketing has truly taken off and become something that is much bigger than what it was. Because now in 2019, last year, the market size for this form was upwards of $6.5 billion. That's close to a 400% increase in market size. With this big of a market, I think it's interesting to see how much money is actually going into each deal with each influencer. So a graph I was able to find kind of showed the price breakdown that these companies are actually paying their influencers to network out to. And the amount of money that's going into this is quite absurd. I mean, from a celebrity perspective, someone who has multiple millions of people following them on their social media can get upwards of $500,000, which is an absurdly large sum of money for such an easy action of one post on their social media. And it really just shows how successful and how this industry really truly works. With this much money going into the market, I think it's interesting to look at the return on investments that these companies are actually getting from their influencers. And a study actually found that 89% of companies say that their ROI, their return on investment on these campaigns, these marketing campaigns, is comparable or actually better than other forms of marketing, which just shows how successful this influencer marketing form truly is. But the influencer side of social psychology is not the only important thing to look at, especially in this era. Another aspect of social psychological theory is the in-person salesman and the art of persuasion. And I think this is a really interesting topic to think about because it does present a major challenge for these companies. In 2017, total retail sales was at about $3,500 billion, with about 3,000 of that billion, or 3,000 billion of those sales being from in-person, in brick and mortar sales. Um, Oftentimes using the art of persuasion to really get to that point. Um, and you also see about 48% of those people actually preferring to interact online with companies. But this is oftentimes changed. This breakdown has changed so much due to the coronavirus and what we've seen, um, because so much of that persuasion, that art form of persuasion, is taken off the table because we're not getting that face-to-face interaction at stores. So much is happening online. The total industry increase on online orders has increased nearly 50%, and these retailers are having to find new ways to actually get their products out and get those sales happening. Um, with that being said, we're kind of reaching the time limit, but here are some of the sources that I used. But I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic to watch play out in the next couple months, seeing how, with such a lack of face-to-face interaction, how companies are going to be able to utilize this social influence, social marketing, social psychology, to really boost their sales. But with that, I just want to say thank you for a great semester, and I